Hi, everybody. Welcome to Personal Finance, Econ 1111 fall semester. I'm Chris Bookerhoff. I will be your instructor for this course. I thought I'd take a few moments to introduce myself and go over the syllabus, hopefully address some questions that you may have early on. I know there's a lot of newer students in this class, so feel free to ask me questions. My email address is kbrucker, kbrucker at umn.edu. Sooner the better. If you're in doubt about something, ask me for clarification. This personal finance, my background, I worked for about 10 years in financial services, most of that time with Wells Fargo. I joke that I witnessed the financial crisis one bad loan at a time. Worked in areas like risk management, credit loan underwriting. I had a little experience with the mortgages. Also have experience with investments. So that's a part of this course that I get really excited to teach on. That's a little bit about me. Originally, I'm from about an hour south of St. Louis. So I like my Cardinals. The Rams are in LA, so I hope they lose all their games this year. So that's a little bit about me. This class is more about you all, though. So please post your student introduction. That is located on the middle homepage. And you should be seeing that because I'm doing a screencast right now. If all goes as planned. So moving on to the syllabus, this is a 3-credit course. Most courses here at UMC are 3 credits. This is a general education course, so it's not just for business students. Hopefully, though, if you're not a business student, maybe you'll become one. We can always use more finance majors. This is a Goal 9 general education course, and that will fill your gen ed credits. And hopefully I can convert a few into business majors, especially finance. As noted, my email is kbrucker at umn.edu. My office phone, if you need to speak with me about something that's not best delivered by email, my phone number is area code 218-281-8172. I'm typically in the office most days. However, an email might be a good first route, can I give you a call? So I will check that on a regular basis. So personal finance is about strategies, techniques, resources for managing, planning personal finances. Budgeting, investments, housing, insurance, taxation, credit, job selection, planning, retirement, installment buying. That's what the catalog says. Basically, my mission is to help you save money, make money, and protect your money. Those are kind of the 3 pillars of personal finance. Penny saves a penny earned. That's what Ben Franklin said. So saving is just as important as making money. And then there's that whole thing about protecting your assets. When you get older, you need to engage in something called estate planning. However, every time you log into your computer, you put your assets in jeopardy. Credit gets stolen a lot. Identities get stolen. That's something I talk about in this class too, because it's an underrated topic in personal finance with all the cybersecurity issues. We always hear about large corporations and data breaches. So that's an underused area that we'll talk more about. So we're going to talk a lot about debt, the different types of debt. Something I usually kick my class off with on campus is the fact that most college students don't know the difference between an unsubsidized student loan and a subsidized student loan. That to me is disturbing. For the record, an unsubsidized student loan is a student loan that accrues interest while you're in college. The subsidized doesn't. There's a lot of little facts like that out there that people just are not up on that I think is important. Financial literacy is kind of an overriding theme with this course. I have the course outcomes listed here. I'm not going to go over all of these. Some of these are kind of abstract as to agree with our liberal education outcomes. However, when you do your readings, they will be much more specific. Textbook, Personal Finance, Gorman and Ford, 13th edition. Please do the 13th edition. I always get requests from students, can you use 11th or 12th? I wish you could. I wish I wrote the book. Unfortunately, I don't. And book publishers are very strategic and devious about changing up pages and activities. And enough stuff to force students to get the most current edition and force instructors to assign the most current edition. So please get that soon. All the assignments are going to be hosted on Moodle. There is no Applia, there is no McGraw-Hill Connect. I explored that option, it just wasn't feasible. So all your assignments will be hosted on Moodle. So what that means is you need access to the text in some shape or form. There are a couple of those shapes or forms on the UMC bookstore site. You either need access to an e-text, traditional text, or the loose leaf text. You can check the bookstore for more details on that. You're also free to shop various third-party vendors. All I ask is that you have the book by the end of the first week. Another bit of advice would be if you go through, say, Amazon, go through their fulfillment center, because I personally have had bad experiences with third-party vendors on Amazon. So a little bit about the book there. Important dates. In this course, there are 4 units. That means there are 4 firm deadlines. So you do not have weekly deadlines. Your first unit deadline is September 18th. The next one is October 16th, November 13th, and December 11th, which is actually a bit of an accommodation since the last day of the semester is the 8th and on Friday. But for this course, I will allow you to submit work up until the 11th. Now, I will grade work for your final grade up to the 11th. After the 11th, grading ends because we literally have 3 or 4 days to post final grades. So, and I will update and remind you all of that as we go deeper into the semester. As far as activities, we'll have discussions. I think discussions are going to be very interesting, and I want a lot of student interaction. That's how we best learn. I can talk about stuff, but students tend to learn more from each other. I hate to say that, but research suggests that's, almost truth. Each chapter will have a quiz. That's just good reinforcement of book concepts. You also have 2 case studies. They're not going to be like 10-page case studies, but they're going to be like a real-world scenario where you're going to have to put your financial planner hat on. And that's something that you'll be doing a little later on. And for exams, you can't have a course without exams, some sort of assessment tool. Exams will be multiple choice and true or false. There won't be any essay questions, basically gauging your comprehension of what was discussed in the book and gauging whether you actually read the book, which for an online course is something you should do if your goal is a redeeming grade. Grading scale, I'm reading off the syllabus that is below that. Standard University of Minnesota plus minus scale. Attendance. This is not a campus course, therefore I don't have webcams in all your rooms to see if you're actually working each day or not. But the best way to approach this class is to work on it multiple days per week. It's not a good course to cram for. Some content-based courses, students will attempt to make a 3-day weekend of it and just go day and night. Finance is not a good topic to take that approach with, similar to economics. It's best digested in short bursts. So my advice would be to work on the course, if not every day, every other day. So as a goal, Murphy's Law hits working students, or adults, but I think steady, consistent participation is a good recipe for success. Late work policy is below that. You have 4 deadlines. Those are the firm deadlines. You have lots of wiggle room in between those deadlines. If something comes up and you're not going to be able to deliver all that work by deadline, think about when you're at work, what would you do? You would talk to your manager. I approach teaching as I'm sort of the vice president and you're the project manager. So your project is to be successful in this course. So if contacted beforehand, a couple days, I guess, we can work through stuff. If work is not submitted on time and I don't know why, then it's subject to the late policy note in the syllabus. So what else? This other stuff you can read on your own, pretty straightforward about disputing grades, extra credit, final exam schedule. And Again, there's my phone number if you need to call me about something, area code 218-281-8172. Email is kbrooker@umn.edu. And I do have Skype, and if your request it has a need for Skype, let me know. Then we can facilitate that also. That's about it for the syllabus. Be sure to read the other disclaimers and the university stuff that's on most of your syllabuses. Well, by I mean, use proper English. If you have questions at this point, please let me know. For this upcoming week, the task is to post your course introduction, get access to the text in some shape or form, and work on the first chapter. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I think I've gone longer than I wanted to anyway. We have that tendency when we teach to say more than we plan to. Anyway, I look forward to this course and this semester, and best of luck to everyone. Bye.